Well, it's technically Thursday because it's like 12:15 a.m. Today, the funeral day, we were picked up by a limousine at about 10 o'clock this morning. A big honking limousine. I was playing with all the gizmos inside, because when you get in those things, you have to look at everything. It just has to be. So Dad and I are taken to the funeral home. At that time, we were the first two there for a while, and we made the decision to leave Mom's casket open today because there were people coming who weren't able to come yesterday. So we made that decision to have it open. And then pretty soon people started to come. So many people came to Mom's funeral. There were 3 rooms in the funeral home. The main room where she is, it was full. And then there's a little, it's like an L shape, and then there's a little room separate. And the big part was full, the other part of the L shape was full, and the other room was full too. There was a lot of people. It was a really good service, and we got a lot of hugs because everybody came through and looked at Mom one last time, and all gave us a hug, and then we had the funeral procession to the cemetery. And at this time I got into the limousine, and I was like sitting my back against the driver so I could look out. I was looking out the back window, and the cars went on forever. I think there were something like 50 to 60 cars in the procession. It's just crazy. And so we got to the cemetery, and they did the little, thing at the grave, and they took just a few of the flowers to the grave, like the ones that said sister and daughter, and the spray on the coffin and all that. And then they were taking the rest of them home and sticking them in our garage. So we got done to the cemetery, which didn't take very long. And then we all went. It was funny, after the service, this town's a very small town, and most people knew we were going to the Legion. And Bob Hoven, the funeral director, said, "Is there anybody here who doesn't know where the American Legion is in Galeen?" And like 4 people raised their hand out of like 80 to 100 people. And he's like, "Well, follow the crowd." And then he told them, "Go to the light, turn right." So then we all went to the Legion. Oh my goodness, there are a lot of people there. A lot of people. And the women had set up all the food at the Legion, and they did such a good job, and got to visit with a bunch of people, and it was a decent day. All the people made it a lot better. And then people started dwindling out of the Legion, and then I came to remember that we had no vehicle. So we got a ride with my dad's friend. He said, "I'll take you home, Hump." So we got into the car of death. Oh, his car frightened me. Oh, he's funny. His name's Mike, and he has his car, and the muffler's kind of hanging down, and when you drive it goes down the road, and I'm like, "Oh, we're gonna die." So we got home, and Dad put on some comfortable pants and dropped off a few things, and we grabbed our car and went to Grandma's. Stayed out there till about 10 and came home. We visited and hung out in the garage. My grandma's got this garage and we turned on a heater because it was kind of chilly. And everybody who'd stop off, we'd pawn food off on, because all the women at the Legion, you know, gathered everything up that was left and sent it all home with us. And most of the little things, there wasn't a whole lot left, but chicken, we have a lot of chicken left. Towards the end of the evening, we're getting ready to go. We had Ziploc bags and we did 5 out of our little container of chicken, and Grandma did 4, I think, 4 or 5. And so we were pawning off bags of chicken to people. We ended up bringing 2 home ourselves, along with a box full of other stuff. Grandma was packing us a care box to bring home. She's like, you want a cake? I'm like, no, Grandma, I don't want a cake. Are you sure you don't want a cake? I'm like, Grandma, at home right now, we have an apple pie, a coconut cake, and a carrot cake. We don't need another cake. She's like, okay. Need a loaf of bread? No, we don't need a loaf of bread. Okay, we just hung out there for the rest of the evening. Tomorrow, we're calling Grandma and Jeff to come over, and Kathy, and we're going to sort out plants because our garage looks like a flower shop. I counted the ones that were in the garage, and we have 42, I think is what I counted, flower arrangements and plants to figure out what to do with. We're going to sort them into, some of them are pots with a various variety, which we're going to keep and put on our patio. And some are the cut flowers that you see at a lot of funerals. And if they're still looking good by this weekend, we're going to send some with my uncle to church for a decoration for a day, something pretty for the church. And we're going to do that for my other cousin's church. It depends on how well they look. Or I can just break them down and make vases of pretty flowers, I guess. We have a lot of flowers. My dad's like, what am I going to do with all these flowers? I'm like, we'll figure it out, don't worry. But tomorrow I'm going to take my camera out and take pictures of all the bouquets to do a slideshow to show you guys, so that'll be coming up sometime in the next few days. But now I'm gonna go because I'm tired and it's bedtime, and tomorrow I get to sleep in and not have to worry about getting up at any special time, and because I'm not working tomorrow. I might go on Friday just for a little bit, but next Monday back to the old grind. Oh, I had printed out an 8x10 of my mom's. Those of you who've gone and seen my mom's obituary, you see a little picture of her head. Well, I printed out an 8x10 that we had in a frame at the funeral home. Because honestly, it was the last picture taken of her. It was taken on March 27th, like a month ago. And we brought that picture home today, and we set it on the table at the end of the couch tonight. And Heidi jumped up on the couch and ran down there and looked at it. Then she got on the floor and got up on her back legs and was looking up at it like, okay, where is she? I see her. Me and Dad looked at each other like, oh my God, she sees Mom. It's bizarre. Oh my gosh, I'm almost at 10 minutes, I'm so sorry. Good night.